Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Trades Talk, your most industrial stream on a Tuesday night, with me, your host, Pop. So, this is a bit of a different stream than you're used to. Other people's streams, we talk about the skilled trades. We look at what's going on in the world from an industrial point of view. We take a look and see whether companies are building or laying people off or whatever is going on out there in industry. And then we always take a look at some articles to see if anybody's doing anything about the skilled trade shortage. And finally, I managed to show some pictures and videos of projects I've been involved in. So I hope you guys are along for the ride. And, we always try to learn a few things along the way. But before I get to all that, the news of the week, I want to say hi to you, Fabric Folds. How you doing, Fabric? Wow, you're bright and early. Nice to see you. You're guessing I'm now on Alberta Independence Time instead of Mountain Time. Yes. Yeah, I'm all for it. Will Alberta's new national anthem be Russia's Great White North? I hope so. We need something catchy, something people can rock out to. You want people to show up for your national anthem. That would be awesome. They're like, yeah, we're at a concert for the national anthem. But yeah, let's dig into it here. We're going to go to Plant Magazine and see what's going on out there. There we go. Few things I've seen. Report calls for Autopact tying duty-free vehicle imports to Canadian production. Honda of Canada Manufacturing wins Energy Excellence Award. I guess we can look at that one. See how they did it. Not a very long article, but we'll see. 360 Energy announced it has awarded Honda of Canada Manufacturing its 2024 Energy Excellence Award in recognition of the company's outstanding and enduring commitment to energy efficiency, carbon reduction, and sustainability leadership. Yeah, all those fancy words you got to throw out there, eh? Word salad. What's up, Nico? Demo Bros. Yeah, you betcha. When you're doing demolition, you just don't know what's going to happen. This recognition celebrates Honda's industry-leading efforts in energy efficiency, carbon reduction, and long-term sustainability with a track record of year-over-year energy reductions and a $15 billion investment in clean energy and electrification. Honda continues to raise the bar for what responsible, future-focused leadership looks like. Yeah, we'll see how good that goes when they start losing money. 360 Energy says Honda's work is helping to redefine Canada's role in manufacturing in the global energy transition, not only through innovation in electric vehicle manufacturing, but also by strengthening supply chains, supporting good jobs, and ensuring the competitiveness of Canada's automotive sector for years to come. Kitty Bear, what's up? Hey, man, I haven't seen you in the longest time. Hope you're doing all right over there in the Netherlands. Okay, big deal. Honda got an award for supposed energy excellence or energy efficiency. They didn't say how they did it. They just got an award. So take that how you will. The unemployment rate rises to 6.9% in April as trade war hits factory jobs. Well, that's not good. Unemployment rate going up. It's unfortunate. How much do you want to bet they're going to blame the president? I mean, how much you want to bet? They're going to ride that EV train right off the yeah, Fabric, you got her, buddy. And then there is an article coming up, and it's going to tie into the EV train of thought, as it were. I like Fabric's profile picture. It's great. Very inspiring. All right, here we go. The national unemployment rate ticked up to 6.9% in April, as the manufacturing sector started to strain under the weight of tariffs from the United States. Statistics Canada said Friday. Canadian economy added 7,400 jobs last month. The agency said slightly outpacing economists' expectations for a gain of 2,500. But the unemployment rate also rose 0.2 of a percentage point in April, topping economists' call for a jobless rate of 6.8%. Oh, some reason YouTube never shows me live for you. You just happen to see you live on Rumble, and you're looking if Mead Radio is there. Oh, okay. Well, thanks, man. I'm usually here same time every Tuesday, so just mark it on your calendar. Don't rely on YouTube. Mark it on your calendar instead. Continuing on, at 6.9%, the unemployment rate is back at its recent high seen in November. Before then, the jobless rate had not hit that level since January 2017, outside the pandemic years. While the economy did add jobs in April, the rising unemployment rate suggests employers were not hiring as quickly as Canada's population was growing. Maybe you should ease up on the growing population until people can have jobs filled. Statistics Canada noted that a reversal of earlier this year when strong employment gains coincide with slowing population growth. Canada's manufacturing industry led job losses in April, shedding 31,000 positions, with the bulk of the impact in Ontario. Of course it was. They do a lot of manufacturing in Ontario, so. And there's a lot of population in that area. The hit came after the United States imposed tariffs starting in March on non-CUSMA compliant imports from Canada, as well as sector-specific levies on steel and aluminum and automobiles. Manufacturing heavy Windsor, Ontario saw its unemployment rate jump 1.4 percentage points to 10.7% last month. Statistics Canada says April figures showed the first significant decline in manufacturing jobs since November, though employment levels for the industry remain steady year over year. The wholesale and retail trade sector also lost some 20,000 jobs in April. Oh, you're also not always awake at 3 a.m., especially when you have to be up at 9. Hey, okay, yep. I forget. Time difference, Kitty Bear. 3 a.m., yikes. Yeah, that's a little early. Yeah, don't sweat it then. Offsetting the declines last month was a gain of 37,000 jobs in the public administration sector, while Statistics Canada was largely temporary work tied to federal election in April. Average hourly wages rose 3.4% in April, down slightly from 3.6% in March. BMO chief economist Doug Porter said in a note to clients Friday that the details of the April jobs report are worthy of a failing grade for the labor market, and with the trade war serving as a clear source of weakness. Ontario only manufactures outrage. Them and Quebec, am I right? Ontario and Quebec, they are the manufacturers of the outrage. This is the first major data reading for April, and it shows that tariffs are already taking a material bite out of the economy. What's up, Human Blaze the Cat? How you doing? Nice to see you coming in. The April job figures mark the last reading the Bank of Canada will get on the health of the labor market before its next interest rate decision set for June 4th. The central bank held its benchmark rate steady at 2.75% at its decision last month, breaking a streak of 7 consecutive cuts, as it waited for more clarity on how Canada's trade dispute with the United States would unfold. Ali Jaffrey, senior economist at CIBC, said in a note that the latest jobs report supports the case for a return to cuts in June. Overall, we are seeing a job market that was weak heading into the trade war, now looking like it could soon buckle, Jaffrey said. Porter echoed that call, arguing the odds are now higher for a quarter-point cut for June. Honestly, I think they shouldn't cut it. They should just stay the course, and slowly bring it up. You actually need to have some solid interest rates. You can't have 0 or 1% or negative interest rates. You need to have some positive interest rates there. And that way it should work itself out. Stop screwing with it is what I'm telling those guys. Despite economic uncertainty tied to the U.S. trade dispute, most workers were telling Stats Canada they felt secure in their jobs. Some 73.9% of workers aged 15 to 69 disagreed when asked if they thought they'd lose their job in the next 6 months. though the proportion of those who felt otherwise was highest in the industries reliant on exports to the United States. Well, of course. So yes, unemployment goes up. I mean, it's going to happen. But as I've said before, this has happened before and we've gotten through it. So no need to panic, even though that's what they want to do. They want to cause panic. Now tying into the EV comment that was made earlier, Honda postpones $15 billion EV investment project in Ontario, citing market demand. Oh, really? You mean people aren't running to go and buy electric vehicles? Oh no. What do we do? What happened? What happened? Oh no. As Count Dankula would say. Quarter point down doesn't help. Ideally, interest rates should be a full point up. Yeah, okay, Fabric. Yeah. I feel they have to do that though, otherwise they don't want to cause a crash. It might go really haywire. This marks the biggest project delay yet in Canada's Canada blamed. What the? It marks the biggest project delay yet in Canada blamed on the weekend outlook for EV sales, which has been made all the more uncertain because of the actions by the Trump administration. I swear they must have AI write this, because that sentence doesn't make any sense at all. But anyway, Honda said it is delaying its investment, which includes battery plant and retooled vehicle assembly line, for about 2 years. In the meantime, it will keep a close eye on how the market evolves. The company will continue to evaluate the timing and the project progression as market conditions change, said Honda Canada spokesman Ken Chui in a statement. But Bob, Honda just got an EV award. Yeah, I know, eh? Does that mean people aren't running out and tripping over each other to go and buy an EV? Oh no. Oh no, what happened? That's perfect. That Count Dankula, that guy, he's hilarious. While EV sales keep growing and taking more market share in Canada, making up almost 1 in 5 vehicles sales in the last quarter of 2024, according to S&P Global, the overall demand growth for EVs isn't matching the expectations that led to more than $46 billion in spending commitments in Canada late in 2020. Yes, it's not matching expectations. Who wrote this guy D+ in English? Yeah, I hear that, Fabric. The added costs and uncertainty of tariffs imposed by U.S. President Donald Trump, as well as his efforts to dismantle funding and support for EV adoption in the U.S., added to the challenges. They're going to put the blame on him, but that's not his fault. This was happening even before he became president. Nobody was running out there to grab the EVs. You know, it's not just him. So nice trying to blame one guy. Yeah, EVs in cold weather. Whatever could go wrong? Oh, I don't know, maybe freeze to death because your battery is dead and you can't do anything else. Probably can't even get out of the car. In Canada, the phase-out of federal EV subsidies plus the imposition of a 100% tariffs on Chinese EVs that are generally cheaper are also making it more expensive for shoppers to buy electric vehicles. Don't buy Chinese cars. I'm warning you guys now. Don't buy Chinese EVs. Big mistake. Don't even bother. The various pressures have seen numerous automakers pull back on EV plans, even before Trump was elected. See? Even before he was elected, just like I said. Everyone was scaling it back. You know, they were promising pie in the sky, and they're just like, oh yeah, look at all these people that are going to come. And nobody came over. In April last year, Ford Motor Company delayed production of an electric SUV at its Oakville, Ontario plant, opting to produce gas-powered Super Duty trucks there in the meantime, which are probably selling way better. In July last year, Umicore said it had halted spending on a $2.8 billion battery materials plant in eastern Ontario, citing scaled-back expectations for growth in electric vehicle market. Yes. All you fools were, not you guys, but all the foolish companies were like, oh yeah, rubbing their hands together, saying they're thinking they're going to get a bunch of money. But nope. Where were these people in 86 the last time there were tariffs? We've seen this before. Yeah, Fabric, you sure did. You bought a Chinese stripper once, 30 minutes later you'd forgotten. Yeah, it just doesn't, it's just gone, eh? Just like Chinese food. You're hungry, you eat, half hour later, hungry again. The future of Northvolt's battery project in Quebec is also unclear after the parent company declared bankruptcy of Sweden in March. Yeah, okay, well, the company's declared bankruptcy. What do you think's going to happen? Gee, there's no money. You're not going to get your battery project in Quebec there. And just last month, GM temporarily laid off hundreds of workers at its Ingersoll, Ontario plant that produced an electric delivery vehicle because it isn't selling as well as hoped. Yeah. Gee, not selling as well. I wonder why that is. So you know what? That's they get what they deserve. Line from the Joker movie, you get what you deserve. You corporations out there, you think you're going to be able to screw people out of their money and get them to buy your stuff, but if it's garbage, they're not going to buy it. I'm not going to buy it. Hey, James, how you doing? How's things up in old Michigan? Honda's decision affecting plans that were expected to create 1,000 jobs when they were announced just over a year ago came as it reported a drop in profits and more on the way because of tariffs. The company said Trump's tariffs are expected to cut $4.4 billion from its operating profit for this fiscal year, largely because it has so many vehicles coming from Canada and Mexico into the U.S. Ontario Premier Doug Ford said Honda assured him it's still committed to the project. Yeah, that's talk, though. That's all it is. It's just talk. I've talked to Honda. They've promised us they're going to continue on with their expansion, said Ford. Sure. He said he was confident Prime Minister Mark Carney would reach a trade deal with Trump to create a mutually rewarding relationship that's been growing since the first auto pact some 60 years ago. I always say you can't unscramble an egg that's been around since 1965. You have to make the omelet a lot larger. Oh, yeah, great. An egg analogy. Great. It's raining and it's okay? All right, man. Where'd all those invested billions go? Did Greta Thunberg use it all for hair dye? Because that ain't natural. Man, there's a name I haven't heard in a while. Where's she now? Why isn't she? Hey, she should go to China or India and tell them about how they're polluting and all that. Oh, right, because they'll just get rid of her. Right. Never mind. We're the only countries that put up with idiots coming in and telling us how to do things. Hey, Ars, how you doing, man? All right. Where did we go here? Oh, the pullback in EV development shows the widening pressures of tariffs, says Flavio Vulpe, head of the Automotive Parts Manufacturers Association. The market cooling consequences of U.S. tariff actions continue to be felt by everyone, including Honda, he said on social media. Yo, what's up, Veritex? How you doing, man? I like that picture you sent of all those, that truck calling those U-Haul trailers. That was great. Good stuff. In case you guys haven't seen it, I'll pull it up later. He said the company's commitment had represented a massive vote of confidence in the Canadian supply base that he hopes it will see through. We hope to find a solution for Canada that restores confidence for ambitious projects. All Canadian auto has benefited greatly for 40 years by Honda's continued commitment, said Volpe. The project was first announced in April 2024 at an event that included then Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and Ontario Premier Doug Ford, and was to receive support from the federal and Ontario governments. Auto was set to give the Japanese automaker around $2.5 billion through tax credits. Oh, that just makes me sickened. That Ottawa is going to give a private corporation $2.5 billion, but then they quote unquote tax credits. So they're pretty much paying the company to be in the country. While Ontario committed to provide up to $2.5 billion in support directly and indirect. So Honda was going to get $5 billion out of us. Like, that's just disgusting. While some EV projects have stumbled, other companies are pushing ahead. Every time people talk eggs and omelets, it means someone is getting wrecked. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. The contractor in your neighborhood has been using a rock breaker and an excavator to break up large rocks and build a trench for drainage pipes this week. Oh, nice. You gotta get some video of that, Veritax, if you can. Drainage is very important, so hopefully he's doing a good job, and that'll make it so that the water doesn't affect or flood anybody out, and it gets nicely drained away. The pullback on EVs just proves what we've been saying. They only work in Tennessee. Yeah. Isn't Ford the crackhead? Party with Hunt's his pipe Biden. I mean, his brother was into the drugs, I think, heavy. I don't know about him, maybe. Never know. He's not my premier, so that's money flushed down the toilet after the fact. Oh, too rainy? Okay, no problem, Veritax. Let's see. Oh, the joint venture between Stellantis and LG is nearing completion with its 4.2 million square foot battery plant in Windsor, Ontario. With work now focusing on equipment installation, the company has been building battery modules since last fall and expects to begin cell production later this year. And Volkswagen's power company is still building its big gigafactory in St. Thomas, Ontario, with initial production expected in 2027. Though it notes that once complete, the plant will follow a demand-based ramp-up in commercial production. Okay, so they're going to do it like as on order. They're not going to just start making batteries like crazy. There's going to be like, oh, you have to order it, and then we'll make it. So that's how they're doing it. So there you go. Honda is postponing their $15 billion EV investment because there is not enough demand. Which Ford was the mayor of Windsor? You're asking the wrong guy. I'm not an Ontario or a Windsor guy. Was it Rob Ford? That was his brother, I think. They're saying they will build an electric pickup truck for $25,000, 120-mile range. Who is that? Is that what Ford's saying, James? 120-mile range, that's not that great, is it? What's that? 100 miles is 160 kilometers. So 120 miles, what's that? 180 kilometers? Still not far enough for me. And Megan Fox and I Your electricity bill would go up so much that an old 10-mile-per-hour gas guzzler would be cheaper. Yeah. And most places don't have the infrastructure to charge your car or truck anyway. You'd need a whole new sub panel, right? You'd probably need 200 amp service. Most houses just have 100 amp service. You'd probably need 200 amp service, if not more, and a sub panel just for the charger for your house or for the car. So that's just, yeah. They are not ready for that. They are not by a long shot. Honda moving some CRV stuff south? I'm not sure. Okay, well we're all caught up in the news at Plant Magazine. Let's move over to this one here, Business Wire. It's a Berkshire Hathaway company, so Warren Buffett, I think. Earn and learn skilled trades programs for LA high schoolers to expand this summer as demand for workers grows amid existing shortages. So now we're getting to Los Angeles. In winter and summer, the range is going to be like 60 miles running heat or AC. Yeah. Well, yeah, 120 volts, Veritax, but amperage. Your house will have 240, 120 volts, but then you need 100 amps out of your panel to run your house, but then you're probably going to need even more if you have a charger for a car. Hundreds of LA area high school students will get paid and earn valuable industry credentials in construction, welding, and other skilled trades this summer through support from Harbor Freight Tools for Schools, LA County Skilled Trade Summers Program. The education and training can help meet the region's enormous workforce demands to rebuild communities devastated by January's wildfires and address the shortage of housing and other infrastructure needs. More than 600 students a nearly 50% increase over last summer are set to benefit from the program. Yep, you're right, Veritex. That's what kills you. Yep, it's the amperage. Charlie Munger croaked? Really? Not quite sure who that is. Is he some politician or something? Can install 240-volt circuit. Wire is expensive. Well, yeah, and you got to get the right size. You can't just grab any old wire. 30 miles if that truck is hauling anything heavier than that aforementioned Chinese stripper. Or is she so large that she has to ride in the box fabric? Come on now. Tell me the truth. Harbor Freight Tools for Schools, the flagship program of the Schmidt Foundation, aims to increase opportunities for high school students to learn the skilled trades. Building on 4 years of success, the LA County Skilled Trades Summer Program has grown to include 10 partners in 2025 and deepened existing relationships with schools, community organizations, and industry. There's a strong and growing demand from students, parents, industry, and Angelinos. Is that what they call them? Are you an Angelinos if you live in Los Angeles? Okay. To give young people the opportunity to graduate from high school with the necessary skills to begin careers in the skilled trades, said Danny Corwin, Executive Director of Harbor Freight Tools for Schools. Dryer's 30 amps. AC is 40 amps. 240 volts. Yeah, 240 volt. Yeah, yep. Yeah, the dryer definitely takes up a lot of amperage, that's for sure. Charlie survived by his son, Homemonger. Over the last few decades, skilled trades classes have largely been removed from most LA County high schools. Today, fewer than 1 in 5 public high schools in the county offer any type of skilled trades education to help address the near elimination of these classes locally. Harbor Freight Tools for Schools launched LA County Skilled Trade Summers in 2021. The program, which has supported over 1,500 high school students, aims to introduce high schoolers to rewarding careers in high-demand industries and give them foundational skills for success before they graduate from high school. Starting June 2nd, students will participate in programs up to 8 weeks in duration with hands-on instruction in welding, construction, carpentry, electrical, plumbing, auto service, advanced manufacturing, solar installation, building inspection, and industrial fabrication. Starting June 2nd, students will participate in programs up to 8 weeks in duration with hands-on instruction in welding, construction, carpentry, electrical, plumbing, auto service, advanced manufacturing, solar installation, building inspection, or industrial fabrication. Wow, lots of trades there. And yes, it is Angelinos. Okay. Stripper has to ride in the bed because of the cheap perfume will burn your eyes like... Yeah, there you go. Charlie was the guy who did most of the stock picks for Warren Buffett. Oh. Okay. Hey, David Glenn, how you doing? That's okay. Don't worry about being late. You're all good. Good to see ya. How's things in old Minnesota? Land of 10,000 lakes. I think that's what they say anyway. You're a bigger fan of Jimmy Buffett yourself? Who cares about Warren Buffett? I like Jimmy Buffett. For first-time community colleges, Pasadena City College and Long Beach City College are partnering with Harbor Freight Tools for Schools and delivering new skilled trades programming for high school students. PCC is establishing its program following the Eaton Fire in Altadena, Sierra Madre, and Pasadena, jumpstarting the training of 80 local high school students with skills that are critical to the rebuilding effort. LBCC is partnering with Port of Long Beach and IBEW, the Electrical Workers Union, to offer 25 high school students an 8-week-long course. The LBCC program expands Harbor Freight Tools for Schools' footprint in the port communities, where longtime partners Port of Los Angeles High School and Boys and Girls Clubs of Los Angeles Harbor have established the 2 largest summer programs. After a successful 2024 pilot program at the Jordan Downs Affordable Housing Community in Watts, Bridge Housing is more than doubling enrollment in its program this summer to 40 high school students from Jordan Downs to its new Evermont community. Also in South LA, the program now includes industry certifications upon completion. Wow. Okay. These guys are really going all out here. The story is a leading indicator. Los Angeles, and by extension the U.S., has figured out that they can't immigrant their way out of tradesman shortage. That's right, because you can't instantly have experience or someone that knows the ins and outs of things, like right off the bat. Like, you can't just bring people in and be like, oh yeah, they're good. No. They need to be vetted. They need to go through all the tests and everything to make sure, first of all, can they understand English? Because that is a safety concern. If you have someone who doesn't speak English, when you're trying to tell them to move out of the way or get out of the way because something's falling and they don't understand, they're dead. So make sure they're proficient in English. Make sure they are actually the trade that they say they are by giving them tests to make sure they know what they're doing, whether it's a welding test, whatever it happens to be, carpentry, build something, anything like that. Make sure you do that. Well, you're glad he's doing something to help. How long has Harbor Freight been in business? 30 years? You guys tell me. We don't have Harbor Freight up here, so I don't know how long Harbor Freight has been around. 5 laborers do not equal a tradesman. There you go. There's your math lesson for the day, everybody. James coming in with the dropping the facts. Other new developments for summer 2025 include the addition of a program at Bell High School, the first Los Angeles Unified School District site. 15 students will complete a construction pilot, refurbishing a clubhouse on school property, and receive high school credit towards graduation. At Artesia High School, this returning summer partner will collaborate with the Southeast LA County Workforce Development Board to offer the 40 students in its automotive technology and welding programs connections to internships and jobs. I'd like that if that said apprenticeships, not internships. We're investing in building a bridge between students looking for career pathways and a workforce that is losing carpenters, plumbers, and electricians faster than they can be replaced. LA's urgent infrastructure needs include fire recovery. Further exacerbated this issue, said Belen Vargas, Senior Director of LA County Programs at Harbor Freight Tools for Schools. Summer programs offer unique and inspiring opportunities to acquire career skills thanks to our growing network of teachers, community groups, employers, unions, and local government agencies. We are excited to partner with Harbor Freight Tools for Schools, said PCC President Jose A. Gomez. The summer program is a vital effort that will help train the next generation of skilled trades professionals. We are fulfilling our vision of creating a state-of-the-art regional career and technical education hub, providing a meaningful way for local high school students to help their communities rebuild. Also, he's kind of a traitor to the country. He owns Harbor Freight, but manufactures 99.95% of their sales in China. Oh yeah. Harbor Freight was founded in 1977, Google says. Okay, 1977 for Harbor Freight. So in 2 more years, they're going to have a, 50-year celebration? A recent independent evaluation of the summer programs conducted by the FDR Group found a high level of enthusiasm and support for the programs among participating students and parents. Notably, 90% of student participants and parents from last year's program would strongly recommend their summer program to others, saying it taught life skills, which high school doesn't do anymore, apparently, as well as career skills, which high school doesn't do anymore, apparently. 9 in 10 student participants surveyed believed their summer program was valuable, even if they never work in the skilled trades. Yes, it opens their eyes as to what is out there. And also, they don't have to go deep up to their neck in debt by going to college or university. I would have done the program for free for the experience and to know what we can do. I could be one of the people trying to change my community, said Kran Hendricks, a student in last year's Jordan Downs program. It is life-changing to be a part of it. Even getting taught to do it is life-changing. For the full list of LA County's skilled trades summer partners and skilled trades programs offered at each site, visit here. That's okay. Okay, so Los Angeles County finally doing something. You bought an honest-to-Bob Japanese saw at Harbor Freight once. Nice. Most of their tools are made of Chinesium, but so is everyone's nowadays. Yes, it's very hard to find things that are not made there. Very difficult. This comes from Peak Magazine, or News Magazine. It says Trump's anti-DEI battle threatens nonprofits trying to fill critical labor gaps. It's. You may hear a lot of long sighs and eye rolling, but let's try to get through this, guys. Recruiting women into construction has been a painstaking but broadly popular effort. Why is it so painstaking? If they want to come and do it, they can come and do it. With growing bipartisan and industry support amid persistent labor shortages. I'll say right now, you guys, and you know how I feel about this. Women don't want to come and do the trades. They don't. They don't want to do heavy lifting or back-breaking work, strenuous stuff they have to do. They don't want to do it. The majority of them don't want to do it. There's that little bit that do, but most of them don't. The article goes on. Recruiting women into construction has been a painstaking but broadly popular effort with growing bipartisan. Okay, they said it again. They wrote it up here, and then they wrote it down here again. President Donald Trump's aim to stamp out diversity and inclusion programs threaten to cripple community-based organizations that have been critical to that goal. Who cares? Who cares? Community-based organizations. They were doing fine before there was forced DEI. They were doing just fine. So don't tell me that these programs were doing a good job to help them get into it, because they weren't. That's the goal with tariffs. Bring home manufacturing. You're pretty tired of the nonstop chicken little stuff on the news. Most days are fine. Not every day is a fire or hurricane. Yes, James. But it's by design. They want to show you all the horrible things to keep you scared. If they can keep you afraid and drugged up, then they're very happy to do that to you. And it's terrible. You don't hate the mainstream media enough. You need to hate them more. Or keep that hate going by not believing or reading or paying attention to anything they say. The patriarch keeping women from becoming roofers. Yeah, right, David. Yeah. Not the fact that they don't want to haul the shingles up on the roof there. Or stand out in the hot sun and sweat all day, right? Most women don't want to be CEOs either. And if you ask the ones that are, they won't admit it, but they're miserable. Like they want, oh, I'm successful. Yeah. So are you happy? You happy inside? Do you take joy in things? Or are you just miserable and nobody wants to be around you? Nursing is taught at a trade level in the U.S. at many levels, and they do some heavy lifting, especially with the obesity epidemic. Oh, man, yeah. But you know what, Veritax? They go and get help. You shouldn't just be one nurse trying to lift up those people. It should be 2, 3 sometimes. Same thing in veterinary medicine. We have a lot of women in the field, but all they want to take care of is dogs and cats. You got to bring up a good point, Fabric. Yep. Oh, you're taking off ours? Okay, buddy. Thanks for coming out. Appreciate it. You have yourself a rest of good night. But yeah, they're like, oh, I want to take care of dogs and cats. Okay, well, you're not going to do like the large breeds, then what good are you? They don't want the 60 to 80 hours a week work schedule. There you go. That's right. Lots of hours. Lots of hours. All right, let's keep going here. The Trump administration has moved swiftly to cut off federal funding to dozens of community groups that implement programs on the ground, including apprenticeship readiness programs designed for women, anti-harassment training, and childcare, and transportation support for workers who need them. The overhaul stems from a pair of anti-DEI executive orders which direct federal agencies to cancel all equity-related grants and require government contractors and recipients of federal funds to certify under threat of severe financial penalties that they do not operate DEI programs that violate anti-discrimination laws. Perfect. Good. Is that why nurses are getting forklift certified? Forklift certified. If you guys watch on YouTube Shorts, there's a guy or a channel called What Da Fork. And yeah, that's his thing. He does funny videos. Forklift certified. Yeah, it's pretty good. I get a good laugh out of it. There's a major shortage of nurses in the U.S. at several levels. Really, Veritax? I thought there was more than enough, because that's usually where nurses up here will go. Nurses and doctors will go to the U.S. to earn more money. So they'll get trained up here, but then they'll leave the country. Will that just be forklift equipped? Maybe. The orders have set off a scramble among many corporations, universities, law firms, and major philanthropies to figure out how to adapt their DEI policies to avoid losing federal funding. But for nonprofits whose very mission involves providing services to historically marginalized communities, the executive orders pose an existential threat, driving several lawsuits alleging Trump's orders are impossible to comply with because they are so vague about what constitute illegal DEI. I'm sure somebody with a brain could figure it out, though. Stakeholders in construction industry are closely following a lawsuit filed by Chicago Women in Trades, an organization founded in 1981 to help women enter the skilled trades. Other similar groups said they were considering litigation after the Department of Labor yanked their grants last week. About 40% of Chicago Women in Trades stems from federal funding, according to court filings. Honestly, I don't even think they need that. Really. Nowadays, when you apply for a job, as long as you have the qualifications, also, I gotta come out and say it, and that companies don't want to hire women anyway for stuff like that. You don't have to pay a man maternity leave, because the man doesn't get pregnant. So they're just counting on it that they don't have to pay for someone who's not there. They don't want to have to pay a salary for a woman who's pregnant and on maternity leave. That's just one example. There's not enough nurses. This is a fact. It's not just hospitals, palliative care, private practice, etc. And it's gotten worse since the ACA plus COVID Okay. Requires a Bachelor of Science, I believe, however, can work through college so you aren't $250,000 in debt from college. Yeah. You hate the word stakeholder. If you aren't actually holding a stake, you don't count. Yeah, there you go, Fabric. You have two kinds of veterinarians, big and small animals. Most female veterinarians prefer big animals here because they hate having to deal with snakes, spiders, and other rare small animals. Oh, that's funny, Kitty Bear. There's been a bit of favoritism towards hiring women in certain industries here in the U.S. Is it changing? Maybe. Maybe. As the lawsuits play out, Chicago Women in Trades Executive Director Jane Valinga said hiring and future programming has stalled because the ultimate fate of the organization's funding is unclear. Current programs are continuing under a cloud of uncertainty. The sound of whirring drills filled the Ironworkers Local 63 training center just outside Chicago during one exploratory training program that is reliant on state and federal funds. About 24 women donned hard hats, work gloves, and safety glasses to practice assembling windows as an instructor looked on. Two groups raced each other to see how quickly they could perfect each assembly. Another practices caulking nearby. Okay, well, that's fine. They were racing each other to see how quick they could do it, but was it right? Was it done? You don't have to race each other. Like, make sure you do it so that it is like perfection, like very excellent, excellent high quality. Never mind how fast. During the 10-week program, participants spend a week exploring different trades with experienced carpenters, electricians, and ironworkers. About 70% of participants successfully move on to apprenticeships. Sam Barraza, 24, joined the program after struggling with an office job due to ADHD. Oh, here we go. During a rotation with the Bricklayers Union, Barraza was hired as an apprentice in tuck pointing, a masonry repair process used to restore older buildings. But Barraza, who is non-binary, said they would never have understood how to get a foothold in the industry without a program like Chicago Women in Trades. Sounds like they're getting their funding cut to me. It appears big tech is dominated by DEI. People, Asian men and white men, are actively discriminated against. Sounds like reality TV show. Yeah, it does, doesn't it, James? Yeah, Faberfold, he's a large breed veterinary, specialized, and you have one woman over in Teton County, but generally a shortage across the board here. It's literally him and her for 10 counties. Wow. Yeah, window race on HGTV, Wednesday night at 8 p.m. There are so many insider things that if your uncle was in the trades or if your dad did it, whatever you would know, Barraza said. It's the first time I've been excited for a career instead of like, I just have to work to live. Government agencies, construction companies, and labor unions have invested billions of dollars to expand apprenticeships and other programs to draw younger generations into the skilled trades, an effort that accelerated as the Biden administration ramped up investment in infrastructure and the semiconductor industry. Part of that effort has been programming to make work sites more welcoming to women, racial minorities, and LGBTQ people who have long faced bias and harassment in an industry that is majority white and overwhelmingly male. Not even going to touch that. Progress has been slow but steady. Women, for instance, comprise only 4% of skilled trade workers, but that's a nearly 30% increase since... How the hell did they... Women only comprise 4% of skilled trades workers, but that's nearly a 30% increase. What? Okay. According to U.S. labor statistics that have been celebrated by both women's advocacy groups and industry associations, advocates say recruiting more women and minorities to well-paid skilled jobs helps alleviate pay gaps, which there is no such thing. There is no such thing as the gender pay gap. Women work less. They don't work as long hours, and they take more time off. That's why they don't earn as much as men. Far from being a target during the first Trump administration, Chicago Women in Trades received 2 grants in 2019 and 2020 under the Women in Apprenticeship and Non-Traditional Occupations Program known as WANTO, which dates back to a 1992 congressional act signed by President George H.W. Bush. The first Trump administration increased funding for WANTO, providing more than $8.5 million in grants to 17 community organizations that serve more than 3,500 women. Funding for WANTO surged under the Biden administration, which awarded nearly $18 million in grants to more than 20 organizations. I don't know how many of those organizations were legitimate, but they're not going to go into that here, of course. When you're trying to fill shortages, you don't have the luxury of hiring by sex or race. The work doesn't care. Exactly, Fabric. This wall that needs to be broken down, it doesn't care who's on the end of the hammer. Is just swing that sledgehammer, break it down, shovel it up, wheelbarrow it away, do whatever needs to be done. Even if they aren't mothers, they flake off to Florida or Vegas for a vacation. Yeah. You demand equality. For all the years men have been sent to war, all women should make up for the coming century so men can stay at home being safe. Yes, I agree, Kitty Bear. Yeah. Oh, you want to be equal to men? Okay, you go in the army. You go on the front lines, and we'll see what happens. You'll find a lot of women all of a sudden, 180 degree. Oh, I'm a traditional woman now. Oh, how convenient. But the future in Wanto is in limbo. Last week, the Labor Department sent termination notices to many of the grants recipients, saying their focus on gender equality and diversity no longer aligns with the administration's priorities. Several organizations told the Associated Press. Ronnie Basden, executive director of Vermont Works for Women, said the loss of its $400,000 Wanto grant imperils a new apprenticeship readiness program aimed at building a pipeline of workers in semiconductor manufacturing in the state. The program, using curriculum developed with the industry group Vermont Manufacturing Extension Center, has been scheduled to launch in the spring. Chicago Women in Trade's Wanto grant is protected for now under a new preliminary injunction issued last month by Judge Matthew Kennelly of the U.S. District Northern Court, North District of Illinois, who ruled that canceling the grant would violate the separation of powers. However, Kennelly declined to protect the organization's 4 other federal grants or to extend his protective order to other Wanto grantees. The Labor Department did not reply to multiple emails seeking clarity about its intentions for Wanto or other similar federal initiatives. In his 2026 fiscal year budget request, Trump pledged to keep investing in the expansion of apprenticeship opportunities while eliminate funding to progressive nonprofits that focus on DEI. Instead, the administration proposed sending funding to states and localities to decide how to spend them. The Trump administration argues that many DEI policies pressure employers to hire based on race or gender, or unfairly shut out some workers from training and funding opportunities. Yes, it does. It really does. And it gives it to people who get it because of either their gender or their skin color, and not on their skill level. They prefer to hire married men with children because they aren't calling off sick for a blister. Yep. Another Wanto grantee, Maryland Center for Construction Education, said the impact of losing its federal funding will force the suspension of programs to help women enter construction and other industries that are facing severe labor shortages. Tens of thousands of skilled workers are needed across Maryland in the next few years. So go somewhere else. Don't rely on that place to go there. Go to a community college and get your training there. Like, stop being freaking helpless and useless. Oh no, this place lost its funding. I can't learn. There's other ways to learn. Like, get out there, find a college to go to, find what trade you're going to do, and do it. The article goes on still. These are not abstract losses. They are missed paychecks, shuttered training programs, and stalled progress for communities that need it most. The group said in a statement, adding that it was exploring legal and legislative avenues to fight back. Yeah, you do that. Construction firms have supported outreach programs to women out of sheer need. The industry is seeking more than 400,000 new workers this year to meet anticipated demand, according to trade group Associated Builders and Contractors. We need all the talent and resources that we can get, said Vanessa Jester, Community and Citizenship Director for Turner Construction in Columbus, Ohio, where construction worker shortages are especially acute. What's up, DJ Ronnie G? You are late, sir. I hope you brought a note from your employer. When the trades come back, you're going to see more marriages because people will be able to afford families. Yes, Fabric. Yes. Well said. I agree 100%. The company has partnered with Chicago Women in Trades and other community groups to expose women and girls to the construction industry. If these young girls can't feel it, touch it, and see that there's an opportunity, we're not going to be able to grow. Yes, you will. You'll just have to use men. Okay? That's the thing. Like, stop trying to force women into it. You're pretty much forcing them into it, which is, I don't know, that seems pretty totalitarian if you ask me. Forcing women, telling them that they have to go into the skilled trades or the sciences Be honest, any job that only requires manual labor can be learned by just doing it. No school needed for that. Yep. Just manual labor. Yep. You'll forward your whole Outlook inbox. Okay, DJ. Just giving you a hard time, man. Turner Construction is one of 800 firms that have joined Culture of Care program launched in 2019 by the Associated General Contractors of America to address harassment, hazing, and bullying that has long plagued the industry. The association, which has 27,000 members, says on its website that Trump's executive orders on DEI have prompted a review of its initiative and resources to ensure continued compliance with the law. Brian Turnell, the association vice president of public affairs and workforce, said that while the language of some guidance might be changed, the organization plans to double down on culture of care, saying it's about preventing discrimination that drives away many women and racial minorities from the field. There isn't any other way for the industry to be viable, he said. Well, that's just not looking hard enough then, if he's going to take that kind of attitude. If you were a tradesman and lived in a city and kept having your tools stolen, you wouldn't work there either. Some cities harm themselves with lax law. Yeah, Fabric, you betcha, man. Nope, if there's better places to go, pack up and go. If you're in a place where it's like crime central, you're like, you know what? Screw this place. I'm going where there's less crime and make better money. You know what? Just pick up and go. If you can do that. Anyways, that's this one. I'm glad that he's cracking down on that, because we don't want to just be able to hire people that don't have any skill. You know, oh, it's a woman, we better hire her. No. Look at the credentials, check out the skill set, make sure that it's at what you need, because otherwise they're going to be a liability. Crime is the spice of life. Get out of here. Okay, and the last one, you guys. The last one. This one caught me off guard. I just thought you could knock me over with a feather. It's from Spectrum News 1. I think, which is in Greensboro, North Carolina. We got any North Carolinians around here? Where was it where the only two Walmarts, they're closed because of being robbed all the time and the police are not doing it? Yeah. Yeah, I saw that too. It's like people just keep shoplifting and stealing stuff, and it's like, well, the store's closed up, and they're like, the store closed up. It's like, yeah. Because people are stealing everything and not getting anything done about it. So why would they stay there? TikTok launching effort with skilled trades organizations to showcase content highlighting careers in construction, plumbing, and more. TikTok, of all things. But I guess that's the only way that these young generation is going to see any of this stuff, because they're so glued to TikTok. Washington. TikTok is teaming up with two organizations focused on setting up young Americans for careers in skilled trades for a new campaign that will look to leverage the app's popularity and influence to shine a light on professions in such fields. The new partnerships between TikTok, Skilled Careers Coalition, and Skills USA, shared first with Spectrum News, is set to be announced on National Skilled Trades Day on Wednesday. Hey, that's tomorrow. You had tools stolen right from the back porch in Pine. Oh, I hate that, James. That sucks. Oakland, Seattle, take your pick. Yeah, I guess, eh? You forgot to lock the gate. Oh. Disgusting people that steal. In an interview with Spectrum News ahead of the launch, Skilled Careers Coalition Executive Director Mark Hedstrom noted the effort will look to address a growing shortage of workers in skilled trades roles such as electricians, as well as those in manufacturing, construction, plumbing, and more, and inspire the next generation of students. They live online, right? Hedstrom said, so we have to go where they're spending their time. Obviously, that's on TikTok, that's on YouTube, it's on Instagram, that's on other social media platforms. Hey, I'm on YouTube and a few other places. I don't see any of these TikTok people showing up. So maybe he's barking up the wrong tree. The venture will look to build on Skilled Careers Coalition's digital series that shares the stories of young people working in skilled trades called Skills Jam, as well as bringing in existing creators on TikTok who are finding success sharing content on their own works in such industries. The effort will seek to bring more visibility to such content on TikTok, including enabling some videos to meet the standards to appear on its STEM feed, which displays posts related to science, technology, engineering, and mathematics for users who have the feature turned on. Michael Beckerman, Vice President and Head of America's Public Policy at TikTok, said in a press release. Thieves are everywhere. Even people you work with will steal your tools. Yes. Yep. That's for sure. Truck with a handle dangling out the back is a target. Yeah. Yeah. Skilled Careers Coalition and TikTok will also produce fresh content as part of the campaign and plan to have a presence on the ground at events across the country, including Skills USA's annual National Leadership and Skills Conference, which will take place in Atlanta at the end of June. Yeah, you caught that, eh, David? With science. Just like Kowalski on Penguins of Madagascar, that game I was playing on Saturday. I'm going to be playing it again this Saturday. And his favorite saying was, with science. Just post your property with the following signs: no trespassing, violators will be violated, and sold to the Latvians. I like that. Violators will be violated, and then violated again. The intent there is to bring creators together, bring Skills USA students and other CTE students together to show them what's possible and leveraging not just what's happening on the ground in each of these states, but also using social media to amplify that and push that back out, said Hedstrom, who referred to Skills USA as the largest student member-run career and technical education, or CTE, organization in the country. Although the campaign is nationwide, Hedstrom said the initial phase will focus on activation in 5 states: North Carolina, Ohio, Virginia, Washington, and Indiana. Our activation is going to run anywhere from how we go into continuing tech education schools, show what's possible, whether that's a community college or a high school, but also events and activations that are happening within the state. Your dad had a person he worked with who stole his stuff. In revenge, he altered the name of the man on his locker by adding 3 letters to his name. His name became loosely translated sewer pipe. Nice. Yes, and Thomas Dolby blinded you with science. She blinded me with science. So the Chinese organ harvesting operations. Ooh, there you go. James is going hardcore on that one. That might give him pause. Yep. Okay, Hedstrom noted the effort comes amid a widening skilled labor gap as the nation deals with a shortage of workers in general. According to the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, studies in recent years have found or predicted shortages to come in industries such as plumbing and construction. We definitely have a demand outstripping supply issue right now, Hedstrom said, adding that most experts estimate it runs anywhere from 6 million to 8 million unfilled jobs. He noted a key challenge to breaking down the skilled trades gap is that America's youth are often given a significant amount of information about going to school for a 4-year degree or joining the military after high school. Option to pursue skilled trades careers have not been given the same attention, something the campaign is trying to change, and that's what they should be doing. Sarah Liciti, a business owner in Texas who runs a publication called Tool Girls Garage and regularly posts on TikTok product reviews, well as behind-the-scenes videos of her woodworking projects include custom furniture and home renovations, is one creator who's already signed on. TikTok this time around has approached me and said, hey, we're doing this partnership. We'd love for you to be involved as you're such an active creator in this community, said Listi, who has more than 30,000 followers on the app. And it was just such a natural. I was like, oh my gosh, sign me up. Where do I need to go? The potential to actually influence some young person who is not sure what What's next for them is like, hey, at least think about it, consider it. She said of a career in the skilled trade. I mean, what a gift! That's so cool. Despite a degree of uncertainty around the future of the app in the U.S. after Congress passed a bill banning it in the country at a certain date, which has since been extended by President Donald Trump twice, unless its China-based parent company ByteDance sells it. Amid national security concerns, Hedstrom framed the new partnership as a long-term venture, which could be just chopped down if they decide to get rid of TikTok. But that is it for the news articles. Let's move along here. It's my favorite time. I know it's your favorite time. That's picture time. It's picture time. It's picture time. Tool Girls Garage sounds like a food anime. Yeah. Yeah, ooh. I'm not watching that. Anyways. The title of the stream was Demolition the Safe Way. I know some of you guys have seen these pictures before, but this was, some of you haven't. So we're going to go through and I'm going to show you the slow demolition of some conveyor belts. And, here's, we're starting right here. As you can see, there's one loading onto another, but these things need to be taken down. Picture time, picture time, picture time. Yes, Fabric, picture time. So you start off, you take off all the guards. And you'll need a few things. As you can see, there's an aerial platform right here. You need an aerial platform because things are up in the air. All right, there's that one. This is the area we were working in. You had to buy some screwdrivers from Ace so you could take apart some hardware to keep the parts you wanted. You discovered they had a gorgeous display of case knives. Just had to buy one. Nice, Veritex, nice. Yes, this was the area we were in, and we were moving around these heavy blocks. These blocks weigh 3,500 to 4,000 pounds. They are quite heavy. Jersey barriers, they call them. Jersey blocks. So this is what a conveyor belt looks like without the actual belt on it. So that's another thing you have to do. Remove anything that's going to make it heavier than it needs to be. So there's the head pulley there. Motor, gearbox, head pulley, scraper. Scraper scrapes any excess material off the belt. Well, the belt's gone now. Okay, so good. So we have to just probably cut this thing in half, I think. There's another shot of it from that direction. There's some of the guards that cover it up. Those have to come off. There's a picture from the back end, the tail pulley. You're going to need a skid steer. Skid steer with forks. And there's a motor and gearbox on there. It's getting taken away by the skid steer. You also need a small crane. This is an 8.5 ton crane. As you can see, it's got a 4-point chain harness up there. 4-point sling. You thought it was a people mover car being slammed into a wall? You're saying that demolition is more than 200 feet of primer cord, 25 pounds of C4? Yes, that's what I'm saying. We saw a small conveyor being towed just a few days ago. Small one, maybe 15 feet. Okay, yeah, they'll tow them around to different places. Yep. You have been arrested for booby-trapping your bicycle to stop it being stolen. Turns out it wasn't allowed to trick the saddle out with a taser. Oh, good one, though. Taser. Nice. So do you have 4 guys hold down one end while you work on the motor up to the end? Yeah, right. Yeah, right, David. Yeah. I'm not going to get on one of those YouTube videos you see with work fails. No. But is das skid steer forklift certified. You have to be skid steer certified. So there's the crane. It's hooked up. Got my welder up here, and he is going to cut this in half. So the crane will support it. He cuts it. As you can see, there's one guy on one side. Oh, come on. One guy on one side and one guy on the other side. They each have torches. One guy cuts one side, one guy cuts the other side, and then the crane takes the load and lets it down slowly. There's another view of the setup. The welder is cutting right now. The other guy is cutting as well. And there you go. The conveyor is cut in half, set on blocks. You know, you got to set it on some dunnage, and then it can be picked up and taken away. Or cut up further. If you need to cut it up further, you can do that, but you could also just throw it into a scrap metal bin just like this, if it would fit. You still don't get why the thief went free after they called the cops and you got arrested. That's called a travesty of justice, and there is no justice. So there's the base. It was actually a swivel base on the conveyor. You could swivel it and set it up where you needed it to be, which was really neat. There we are. There's the next one to tackle. And there's a different shot of another one that we tick down. There's the base. That hasn't been removed yet. That'll be easy to do. Take out the anchors in the base. And then just pick it up. Throw it in the garbage. Scrap metal bin. You made a police report, nothing happened? Yeah. Typical. So you can see the edges are cut here with the torch. Swivel? Nah, mate, that's a pivot. Ah, you got me. Okay, I stand corrected. Then you pull out the uprights. So the uprights are really easy. You just hook the crane up to them, and there's a couple anchors in the feet. Pull out the anchors and pull this thing up and lay it down. And there you go. So this is getting stripped down even more, taking the sides off. And you're just left with the rollers and the roller assemblies and the frame. You can take off all the rollers, like the roller assemblies. You can take them all off the frame and then just cut the frame up. So these ones are a lot longer, so we're working our way back. You can see how long this is. You know, it's a good 80 feet. Well, when we first started, it was probably 80 feet. Now we're working our way back, taking it off bit by bit. You don't take off too big of a chunk because that's dangerous. It's too heavy. Police sometimes just useless. Oh, yeah. Yep. There we are. Cut it back a bit further. Can you tell I ran out of kitty kibble? Yeah, so slowly taking things back, bit by bit. There's the crane ready to grab on if need be. So now we've taken apart. There is the end of the first one. And it had one running parallel to it. So once you get rid of that one, now you start on the one that's closer at the back wall. Oh, Infinite Metal! What's up, man? You guys want to have a good time? You go and visit Infinite Metal over on Kick and Twitch. He's a great streamer. Plays his retro games. Has his undead Dragon Lord partner, Skelly, who ridicules and mocks him. It's a fun time. Good to see you, Infinite. So as you can see, this conveyor, really long. Like, it reaches all the way over here. And so we're going to start at that end and demolition and remove pieces one at a time without incident. And there's the scrap metal bins. You have one there, and we just pitch all of the metal in there, all the framework. Thanks for throwing up the link there, David. Appreciate that. There we go. So as you can see by the uprights, quite a bit of it has come down now. And we use the skid steer to lift that piece up and wheel it off. Cats eat weird stuff. Your first cat loved eating kidney bean soup. The one I got now will eat everything of a pizza except the meat. Oh, wow. No problem, Infinite. You do the same for me, buddy. I appreciate it. There we go. Another shot of it. We got uprights to take off still, but then we have the cut pieces waiting to be taken away and cut up even further, I believe. This is where your Indian blood comes out. You're seeing tens of thousands of parts becoming scrap and it hurts your stingy old heart. It's okay. It's all right, Fabric. So yeah, there we go. And we got to make sure that all the electrical is disconnected and dead. We don't want anything happening where there will be sparks or any live circuits. So we have to make sure that happens. Got a different shot over there. So this is slowly coming down now, this second one. Because there's the first one. It's behind this ladder. You can see the first conveyor. This second conveyor is just about down. And like I say, the uprights you should be able to see. Oh, maybe not. Couple of anchors in there in the feet. Take those out. Lift this up. And there you go. That thing's out of there. So trying to get in close, as you can see, fellas up here with the aerial platform and the crane is there. Probably going to latch onto this head pulley and pull that off. This cat's picky about its meat. It will eat any raw meat, but nothing that has been cooked. Oh. Well, raw meat would be better, I would think. You're like, save it. I'll use it for something someday. Yeah. And we also had to have a source of water. So you can see we have the hose here. And always water things down, because if you have a fire in a garbage dump or a place that accepts paper waste and all that, yeah, it's a bad day all around. So lots of water, wash things down. Having this crane was just awesome. Like that crane, it came in so handy. I suggest every job site should have a small crane like this. Indispensable. Okay, so we've pulled out you can see now, there used to be a conveyor here, and it's got pulled out. All of it got pulled out. Your whole apartment's full of stuff you'll use someday. Yeah. You would have taken the whole thing out in one go. Looks like a fun slide. Yeah, I'm not up for getting my hand slapped, though. No. We got to do it safely. Otherwise, there's jobs get shut down and investigations get done and people get fired. So, no. Okay, so we're working our way back now, and you can see these conveyors feed onto this one. So I believe that's going to come out next. You can see some slack in the conveyor belt there. So it'll probably be cut and then pulled out, because you don't need that conveyor belt there. And the crane gets dangerously close to the roof at times. You got to be really careful. So I believe what we pulled down was the, okay. We took down this catwalk, which was up there. It got taken down. And you can see there's some chutes. Those will need to be taken down. And this is how you do it. You get the crane over there. You get somebody on the scissor lift and on the aerial platform. And you hook up the crane, and then you take the bolts out of the cover, or the hood here, and then take it down. There was a lot of fine dust in the air. That's why it looks like this. The camera was trying to focus on the dust, but it was a very dusty environment. You have 3 barns like that, your wife is eventually going to put her foot down. It's my dragon horde. Is that crane operator forklift certified? Fabric, I was the crane operator, and yes, I have my crane operator certificate for a carry deck crane, which is what that's referred to. It's a carry deck crane, and it's 8.5 ton, and I had the certification for that. You wish you had a barn or a steel frame building? One day, David, right? One day. So we've got the hood off, I believe. The belt's been pulled back, at least the bottom part, it looks like. Yeah, you can see now. No more belt. The rollers are exposed. The head pulley's exposed. I think the head pulley should come down next because that's the heaviest part. There's another shot of it, so it goes all the way back there. And a fish tank, which will cool your PC. Okay, there we go. There's one of the conveyors that drops onto the one of the other ones that used to be there. I think we have to remove that. It's been a while. It was 2018, so we're talking 7 years ago. I'm trying to remember this stuff. It must have been moving or something, or shaking. I don't know. There we are, and there's some of the uprights. We'll have to pull those out of the ground as well. You like to dream. Hey, you gotta have your dreams. There's another set of uprights that needs to come down so it's not in the way. And there it is. That was easy. Those ones are out now, as you can see. Pull that one out. That gets rid of it. We have one here, and this one, see that bend in that? I think that was hit by somebody operating the loader. So it's a good thing that's coming down now. Yeah, there's the... I don't think they wanted this one anymore. So I think we just take the hood off it, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, we're hooked up to that one. I think they wanted us to shorten this. I don't think we're taking it down completely, but I think they're going to shorten it up so that we can dump just right here close to the wall. Your dad once bought 2 conveyor belts from a store to see if he could make a small toy tank for us kids with them. Worked out, but not for long. The belts just couldn't handle the friction with the ground. Oh, yeah. Yep. Yeah, you're right, Faber. At least he tried. There we go. There's some of the conveyor belt on the ground. You don't need that anymore. What happens when this occurs, you cut conveyor belt and you have to get rid of it. You call in a company and they come in and they splice a new conveyor belt around the conveyor. So this is where they're planning to have the conveyors drop the material now. They want to drop here against this wall. So we just have to find out what length they want and then install a head pulley on here, because as you can see, this doesn't have a head pulley anymore. So we're going to need to save a head pulley with the frame and re-weld it. Amazing how easy a job is with the right tools. At least they didn't try and make you do it with some scaffolding and outcome. Oh man, we have something here called the right to refuse unsafe work. It's legislated, so it's backed up by the law. So if you feel that the work is unsafe to do, you have the right to refuse without repercussion. So that would never fly if they wanted to try something like that. Convey this. After it broke, he used the electric engines to make a go-kart with them. That got impounded by the police. Your dad loved toying with stuff just for fun. Well, that's good. It's too bad he got taken away by the police, though. It's a big conveyor belt. Tremendous. Very great. And tremendous. Make sure everything's locked out. So they didn't want anybody climbing this ladder. So what you do, get your danger tape out, get your tag. As long as it's tagged and it has danger tape around it, nobody's supposed to climb it. And if they do, a one-way trip out of here. You're fired. I'm not quite sure why I take that picture, but there is a small catwalk up there still. Probably for servicing the head pulley. Yeah, there it is. So I think they wanted to leave that pulley just like that, but we're going to have to take this part away because it's not doing anything anymore. It's not supporting anything. In fact, it's in the way. So I think we just left this as it is to dump the stuff onto the floor there. There's a better shot of it. So yeah, take out this upright and that catwalk, that ladder, that all has to come down. There's the guy studying it, what they're going to have to do. Got some freaking, don't know what that was about. Okay. All right. What are we doing here? Are we hooking up to this one? It looks like it. Looks like we got the crane hooked up. Okay. So we've taken a section out of it. And now what they're going to do is we're going to move this section back here and weld it on to shorten up the conveyor belt. Yeah, there it is. There's the section that got cut out. The crane was there to support it while the welder cut it. And I'm not sure if I have it on these slides, but we're going to see if that gets welded back together. And sure enough, I think that's it. Let's see here. Okay, that looks like that. Like shortening a metal chain, just remove fuel. Yep, that's right, Veritax. So this part here, you can see it's got the 90, or the 45 angle iron. And boom, there you go. 45 angle iron. And there's the weld there. It's not very clear, but you can see that vertical weld right there. And that's it. And now next they'll call the company in to vulcanize this belt. And vulcanizing just means that they heat it up and melt it together to form one continuous belt. So there you go. We've got it shortened up to where the length they want it at. There's the second conveyor belt. Same thing. It was cut down and welded on, and it is at the length they require. Too bad you can't build a Triforce that way. You don't see any duct tape. Oh. Well, you know, maybe next time, Fabric. Floor is wet because, obviously, welding. We don't want to start anything on fire. We take our precautions. There's a better shot of it, a little bit. That must be where the weld is. You can see that vertical line there. That's the weld. And these are just shots of where the belts used to be. Oh, okay. Not set everything on fire? No. Fire! Wouldn't help you break down everything faster? Hey, not if it's burning me, Infinite. I know how much you like fire. Or Skelly likes fire anyway. But this picture reminds me that we were putting up steel plates to cover the doorways. There you go. That's it, Skelly. So on the end of the crane is a plate clamp. Plate clamps the harder they pull, the harder they grip. Like the more pull on this plate clamp, the harder it's going to grip onto the plate. Fire bad. You're the god of hellfire, and we'll teach you to burn. Fire, fire. So we have to put up, and they wanted this for some reason, I guess so they could stack garbage up higher. They wanted these doors covered with these plates so that when we get garbage, we can make giant piles out of them. And so it wouldn't push on the door. The doors are just aluminum, so the weight of the garbage would push on the doors and wreck them. So we put steel plates up, and we had to put up, 8 of them, or 7 at least. I think they wanted one door left open. And there they are there, stacks of steel plates, 1/4 inch. Pretty sure it was 1/4 inch. She said, fire! Oh, and we were using C-channel as well. So you have C-channel. And the C-channel was used as, I believe, bracing on the back sides of the plates here. I think we use those for that. And it's cleaned out pretty good. There used to be 2 conveyors sitting here, and that is gone. Trick of the camera that looks like it's bowing slightly in the middle of the gates. You mean right here? No, it's just so heavy that it does. Probably only got 1 piece of dunnage under it rather than 2 or 3. This is a trash sorting place? It is, Kitty Bear. This is actually a composting facility. industrial composting facility, it would take the entire city's trash and convert it into compost, what it could, the organic stuff anyway. So yeah, it's getting close to the end here. This is cleared out, which is what they wanted. These have been shortened. They don't have the belts revulcanized yet, but they'll get it. They'll get to that. The anchors need to be trimmed down, I think. Probably take a grinder to them so they don't stick up. There's another shot of that. Okay, so we did two parts to this. Yeah, the one was the small, and then we did a larger one that went from column to column. So these are quite large columns. And we put another piece of steel behind that, and that was welded to these columns. And we had to do that 7 times. Then the chutes get put on. So now we have a 90-degree chute, so it dumps onto it and directs it that way. So that's what we do. And that will help out a lot. There's another shot of the doors getting covered by steel plate. Like I said, the debris in the air, the particulate would float around, and that's why you always wore respirators, because this is bad stuff. There we are. There's a better shot of it. It's door number 4. You can see where the supports are, because there's like where the welding was done. You can see the marks the welder made. There's door number 5. And 6 is right there. And I believe we had one more to do. Okay, that one says 8. But it goes 8, 7. So we're counting down as we're moving along. So you have to build a bunker with these jersey barriers so that the trash that falls from the conveyor is contained. And that's what we're doing here. But some of them don't lift up so well. They come with these wires that are embedded in there, and after a while they are not that strong. So you can't lift them up anymore. With the crane anyway. Seen one of those catch fire during summer back when you were a kid and working as a garbage man? Ah, yeah, there you go. So yes, those can't be lifted by the crane anymore. They need to be either lifted by the skid steer or just not used. And it must have fascinated me because I got quite a few pictures. There you are. So you build your bunker. It looks like the conveyor belt is vulcanized and back in place. We just need to put I think they want to put a chute on this one too. And so that the loader doesn't smash the bunker everywhere, you put in these, you drill some deep anchors, and you put these pieces of angle in to keep them contained. There you are. There's one on this side now. There you are. Those are contained. You can see. And there's the chute. And they want that chute going straight rather than turned at a 90. Pillow Fort Millwright edition. Nice. Those are a lot like dragon's teeth, aka pylons, aka vehicle barriers. Yeah, they are. And they are heavy. Like I said, those things are almost 4,000 pounds. So there we go. This one is straight. And it's got a nice place to dump with a bit of a barrier there. There's the other one. It's all built up. This also protects these uprights from the loader operator running into them like a maniac. Pop plays with the big Legos. Yeah. No, they don't get much bigger. That's pretty crazy. Although I have seen, these are 2. I have seen 3. Like 3 wide. That's crazy. Yeah, so these are set up. You can see that now the chutes are all, I believe, where they want them to be, unless management makes another decision and changes their mind. We use 2 skid steers, one with wheels and one with tracks. Both good machines. John Deere does really well for their skid steer machines. I really like them. As you can tell, we had some loaders to use as well, front end loaders. There's no protecting the facility from maniacs. Come on, man. Come on, man. And there you go. And that's why we put up these sheets of steel so that they could make large piles without having it push out the door. And this is large piles of wood chips. Lots and lots of wood chips. Here's what it originally looked like. See, this is all wood chips that are piled up against the door. They peeled up the metal cladding on the concrete wall. So that was put here to protect it, but the loader would come and dig in and peel it up like a pop can. That's a little better shot there. I think this was when I jumped out on the roof just to have a look around. This is the gate we got one of the welders to make and put up. And does it show his mistake? Let's see. There you go. What's wrong with this picture? I know you guys aren't welders or anything, but you're supposed to be able to open this gate up so it's 90 degrees. What's stopping it? What's stopping it from moving 90 degree position? And this from a so-called experienced welder. Oh, I'm an experienced welder. Okay. Think he should have moved this hinge to, I don't know, over here so that it would close and still open up like 90 degrees rather than having it hit right here. Experience could mean a lot. Yeah, you got her, Infinite. No relief for the swing. That's it, James. Yep. Be fun looking up old places you've worked at and see what has changed. Oh, yeah, Kitty Bear. Yeah, you betcha. Pivots in the wrong spot. Yep. James nailed it. Yeah, and it's like, oh, look, it can't move. What a great welding job you did. Oh, and I actually took video. Not very bright. There's a couple lights out. Yeah, not a very good video. Is this the same? This can't be the same one, can it? Oh, I think I pulled out my flashlight this time. So this was probably halfway through the job where I took some video. You can see there's still the framework there that hasn't been taken down yet. Quite a bit of framework not removed. But there you go. That, my friends, is Demolition, and it was done safely. Was he a foreign welder? No, Fabric. He actually wasn't. Or I shouldn't say that. He was from, Nova Scotia or something. He is from the Maritimes. So maybe that is a bit foreign. I don't know. Are the hinge pins inside the door jamb in your house? No. Why might that be? Exactly, James. Exactly. All right. Well, hey. That's it for the pictures and video, fellas. Hope you guys had a fun time doing a little bit, learning a little bit more about demolition and how you can do it safely. It can be done. You don't need to get hurt. People don't need to get hurt when you're doing stuff. Just take it slow and plan out the job and make sure everyone knows their job. Don't let somebody do something that they don't know what they're doing. If this handles mainly wood chips, is it ventilated to prevent spontaneous combustion? Yes. So there's a lot of air getting pulled out of it, but also a lot of makeup air being put back in fabric. So we do have quite a bit of air movement in there. Also, they say not to keep the material on the floor for over 96 hours. So they try to put it through as much as possible. The wood chips get mixed in with the human waste, and then that gets mixed together and then sent down into the processing area. Always wear safety glasses. Thank you, David. Good point. Everyone, always wear your PPE. It will save your life. And for safety glasses, I want you guys to take your left hand and cover your left eye. And then I want you to look at your kid and think, do you want to look at your kid the rest of your life with just one eye? Or whoever it is, your spouse, whoever it is. Computer screen. Do you want to look at that with just one eye for the rest of your life? No? Then wear your safety glasses. It'll help. Nobody wants to lose an eye. Two days ago, you looked up a company you did your internship with. You're surprised to see it. They were using the same machines and factory floor setup as 26 years ago. I'm not surprised. Companies don't want to spend money on capital projects, like on heavy, expensive equipment. They do not want to spend money. If it's working, they're going to keep going with it. Anyways, I want to thank everybody that came out today. I'm going to start wrapping it up here. They run those machines into the ground. There you go. Fabric knows. Like I say, I want to thank everybody, like Fabric Folds and Veritax. And of course, James. And David Glenn, of course. Always good to see you, David. And Aris, who is here. And Kitty Bear. It's always good to see you, Kitty Bear. Hope you're not up too early in the morning. And DJ Ronnie G, of course. And Infinite Metal. It's always good to see you, Infinite. Hope I can catch one of your streams soon. Maybe tomorrow. I hope. And anybody else. Hopefully I didn't miss anybody. Anybody who is lurking and listening. I appreciate that. It's great. I appreciate it. I hope you guys can hit that like button. And if you're on YouTube, please hit the like button. If you're on Twitch or Kick or anything, please hit the follow button. Or Rumble. I think Rumble has a thumbs up. Anyway, you know what to do. I don't have to explain to you. B17, look at you. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Yes. Running machines into the ground is always the way to go, unless it's mining equipment, in which case, run it below ground. Oh, I see what you did there, Infinite. Nice. Even a dumb farmer is smarter than that. Yeah, it's quote-unquote dumb farmer. I'm sure James isn't calling farmers dumb, but it's like that's what the general consensus that people think is. Farmers are important. They are needed, and we should not look down on farmers. They are great. And I'm talking about the home farms, not the big industrial farms, because they're run by corporations. the down-home farms, salt-of-the-earth people. And it's like, we rely on them for food. So anybody that says we should get rid of the farms and farmers, they need a slap upside the head. Better to upgrade when you can versus when you must. Yep. I agree, James. You're eating dinner. Don't apologize, DJ. It's okay. Anyways, you guys, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Tell your friends, spread the word, let them know old Pop's here. We do this every Tuesday. Trades talk. To me, it's very important, and I like interacting with you guys, hearing what you guys have to say. If you guys can bring some more people into the fold, we can have a good old time. This is the most industrial stream on a Tuesday night, so let's all gather around and have a good old time. You're surprised as a company that makes transformers and electricity meters and that stuff needs to stay with the correct values. Machines over time degrade in precision. Yes, they do. But that's their choice, right? They've decided that. Yeah, thanks, Infinite. Appreciate it, man. Make sure you guys check out Infinite Metal. He's a fun streamer. You'll have a fun time going to his stream. The fun part is watching him get ridiculed by this skeleton dragon lord. So you're in for a good time when you watch Infinite stream. That happened in the 1980s when smaller family farms went bankrupt and they were bought by Tyson or whatever. Oh yes, yep, you betcha, James. And there's other good channels out there, you guys. People that I watch and enjoy, like Pacific 414 and DJ Ronnie G. There's Brandon, the anime guy. Carl at the RNG podcast. There's Tom B. He's the bloke from across the ocean over in Great Britain. There's Angry Canadian, Reportal Lifeform. There's everyone's favorite Penguin Punkwaddle. I believe he dropped a video today too, some penguin positivity. You should check that out. Because, we could all do with some penguin positivity. And the aforementioned Infinite Metal. Make sure you check him out. He's a good guy. Cheap viewers on Streambo. I'd be dumb not to. Get out of here. Coming up, Saturday, Retro Game Day. I'm going to play more Penguins of Madagascar for the DS. What a great game. It's got voice acting, whereas the one for the Wii U has no voice acting. I'm disappointed in that version. And yet they put it on the DS. They put voice acting on there. That's great. And it's fun to watch the Penguins. They are comedy gold, full of action and suspense, and they're just a lot of tongue-in-cheek stuff. It's great. Old machines end up costing more than new and higher maintenance and repair costs. Yes, James. Yep. And that's what they don't see. All they see is, it was $100 here, $200 here for these parts. Yeah, but you do that, every month? And then you're getting up to the price of a new machine. So I'm always for newer machines. They don't have to be brand new. They don't have to be state of the art, but they need to be an upgrade at least, or so that the parts aren't obsolete. Anime time. See ya. All right, Kitty Bear. Thanks, man. It was great having you out. Enjoy your anime. I know I will. And speaking of which, that's what's coming up on Sunday. On my stream on Sunday Anime Chat at 9 a.m. Mountain Time. We're going to be going back to the 1960s. Yeah, baby. Yeah. We're going to see some anime from back then and see where the foundation from a lot of the anime shows came from. Because that's pretty much what it is. You've got the foundation back in the 1960s of where anime shows that we watched in the 80s and 90s and to up to now, that's where it all started. So yeah, come on by on Sunday Anime Chat. And then after that, it'll be Tuesday, Trades Talk Tuesday. I'll be here again. We'll have the most fun on the most industrial stream on a Tuesday night. And there you have it, everybody. That's pretty much it. Or every day, lost production and labor costs, which complain. Yes, they will complain about that. Oh, man hours and all that. It's like, yeah, I know. You guys aren't doing the right thing to get this done, because it's not just the machine that's down. You've got guys standing around now. So it's either have one guy standing around who's doing maintenance when things are running fine, or you got 10 people standing around when things are broken down. So what'll it be? When are we doing an elevator stream? Gearing up. I don't know. It sounds pretty uplifting to me, Infinite. I'm more of an escalator man. You know, I don't mind those. They're okay. Resetting a safety switch 10 times a shift, whatever. All right, guys. Thank you for coming out today. I really appreciate it. I had fun. I hope you did as well. And I hope to see you coming up on the weekend, if not next Tuesday, for some more industrial chat. But until then, I've been Pop, and I am signing off.